Today, again, as I told you in the last lecture, we'll be seeing into some numericals related to OSD. And I told you that I would be referring to some previous year GATE papers or IES papers for this numerical. Now, fortunately, from your point of view, fortunately, that related to OSD, not much numericals are asked because, as you all have seen till now, that whatever are the formulas used in OSD, so they are pretty much straightforward. It's nothing complex formulas which you need to try to remember, or you need to try some shortcuts to derive it. So it's a plain and simple formula. Only speed, distance, and time, and uh, second equation of motions are used. So that's why in lot of I've gone through a lot of papers previous year GATE and IES, but I didn't found any uh, tough numericals related to this OSD. Most of the papers in IES, mostly the theory questions are asked related to OSD, conceptual theory question. And in GATE 2, if numerical is asked, it's pretty much straightforward that we have seen in the first two numericals, that they directly give you the values of either the design speed and acceleration, and then they tell you to find out the OSD value. But though I found one numerical which was very interesting, I thought. So in this lecture, we'll be covering only one numerical, not a lot of bunch of numericals. And maybe this lecture will be ending in another 15-20 minutes or so. But I found this numerical which is very interesting. And this is the one. Now, just seeing at the numerical, don't freak out that it's a whole essay that they have given. So I found this numerical in the GATE 1999 paper. And at that time, if any one of you have gone through the papers, at that time there were 5 marks questions also which were asked in GATE exams. It was a subjective one that time. So this was in that section. So at a first glance, you might think that, okay, it's a very difficult question or it's very tough, because you can see it's a hell lot of things that they have mentioned, or a short essay that they have written. But if you go on just breaking down the things in the each line, you'll get to know what they are trying to tell and what they want. Okay, so it's not that difficult question. Again, it's not tricky also. It's just that the question is given in form of a story. Okay, so we'll read it in form of a story, and then I have taken some efforts to convert it into pictorial form so that you would understand it easily. So the numerical is on a two-lane, two-way highway. Okay, now at the start itself, they have given the lane configuration and the traffic scenario, how it will be on this highway. So on a two-lane, two-way highway, a car A was following a truck B, and both were traveling at a speed of 40 kmph. Okay, so initially they have cleared it this, that both the overtaking vehicle and overtaken vehicle, they were traveling at the same speed, that is 40 kmph. Okay, this is contrary to that thing that we have, or the one which we had seen in the derivation and other numericals, that initially the overtaking vehicle or this fast moving vehicle, it was traveling at the design speed, and then it reduced its speed, and then it started following the slow moving vehicle. But in this case, they have clearly mentioned that car A was following a truck B, and both were traveling at the speed of 40 kmph. Now, while looking for an opportunity to overtake the truck, the driver of the car A saw another car C coming from opposite direction. Now, in this sentence, then they have introduced the oncoming vehicle C. At that moment, now in this question, you will find a lot of times they have mentioned at that moment, at that instant. Okay, so they are referring to a time frame. At that particular time frame, they have measured the distance, or they have put in some entity into the numerical. So at that moment, the distance between A and C was 450 meters. Now this is something different. Okay, distance between the overtaking vehicle and the oncoming vehicle at the instant when the overtaking vehicle was following the overtaken vehicle. Okay, so that is given 450 meter. And after an initial hesitation period of 2 seconds. Now again, see the way they have given the term, instead of directly giving the reaction time, they are mentioning that after an initial hesitation period of 2 seconds, the driver of car A started the overtaking operation. Okay, the distance between A and B at that instance was 30 meter. A overtook B by accelerating at a uniform rate of 1.2 meter per second square. When the overtaking operation was completed, there was a 25 meter distance between B and A. Determine the distance between two cars A and C, that is the overtaking vehicle and the oncoming vehicle, at the instance of completion of overtaking action. So as soon as the overtaking operation is completed, at that time instance, what would be the distance between the overtaking vehicle, the fast moving vehicle, and the oncoming vehicle which is coming from the opposite direction? So that distance they are asking, and they have mentioned here the distance between whatever distances they have measured, the distance between different vehicles given are measured from the front bumper of the one vehicle to front bumper of another vehicle. This just they have given for information, so that it's easy for you to visualize and draw the diagram if possible. And then they have given information the design speed of highway is 80 kmph. Okay. Now, as I told you, at first glance, initial glance, you might think it's a very difficult one, but when you break down it in sentences and then start building a scenario, then this numerical is pretty much straightforward. So the same thing I have done here. Now, what I'll be doing is I have just reading one line at a time from the numerical, and then you will be seeing that the entities they appear on your screen. So initially, they have given on a two-way highway. So it's a two-way highway. A car A was following a truck B. Okay, so a car A, this is the car A, and this is the truck B. Okay. So car A was following truck B, and both were traveling at a distance of 40 kmph. Okay. While looking for an opportunity to overtake the truck, the driver of car A saw another car C coming from opposite direction. Okay, so now at this instance, when the driver of car A was looking to or thinking of overtaking, he has not thought yet. Okay, he was looking for an opportunity. So at the same time, he saw a car C coming from the opposite direction. Okay, so this is the car C. At that moment, now again they have given the instance that at this moment when the driver of car A saw the car C coming, so at that instance the distance between A and C, it was 450 meters. So this is the distance, and if you see, I have taken the distance from front bumper of A to front bumper of C. Okay, so this distance is given 450 meter. Now after an initial hesitation period of 2 seconds, now we all know this initial hesitation period is nothing but it is the distance covered during the reaction time or whatever time is required for taking the decision. So that is, we all know, it's D1. So indirectly they are telling us that there is D1 component into the picture, that after an initial hesitation period of 2 seconds, so that 2 seconds will come in this formula. Initial hesitation of 2 seconds, the driver of the car A started the overtaking operation. So from this point, the overtaking will start. And at this instance, now again they have given the distance between A and B at that instance was 30 meter. So what they have indirectly told you, the S, the small s that we used to find out 0.7 VB plus 6. So that empirical formula that we used to find out or used to find out S. So instead of that, they have given directly that the distance between A and B at that instance was 30 meters. So indirectly they have given the S value. Now I have written it as S1. You will come to know why. So moving ahead, A overtook B by accelerating. Now the actual overtaking operations starts, that it accelerates and then it goes to the adjacent lane. So A overtook B by accelerating at a uniform rate of 1.2 meter per second square. So when the overtaking operation was completed, there was a 25 meter distance between B and A. Now the overtaking operation has completed. Vehicle A is coming to has came to its original lane, and at this instance, now they have given that the distance between B and A, it is 25 meters. So now you can see here again that 25 meters is nothing but that S distance, but now it's not the same as the initial distance that both the vehicles had. So that's why I have written S1 and S2. Okay, so S1 was 30 meter, S2 is 25 meter. Now what they have asked is, they have asked to determine the distance between the two cars A and C at the instance of completion of overtaking action. So overtaking is completed when car A returns to its original lane, and at that instant, we all know that C is also oncoming vehicle. It's moving with some speed. So it has moved with some speed. So at this instance, when the overtaking operation is completed, so they have asked this distance X, which I have highlighted in red. And the next line is just the information that all the distances are measured from front bumper to front bumper. And the design speed of highway is 80 kmph that they have given. So I have written that here is the 80 kmph. So in this case, that 80 kmph is for the speed of this oncoming vehicle, because we have seen that our vehicle A, it is not traveling with design speed, but it is traveling at the same speed as that of your overtaken vehicle, that is 40 kmph. So this is the complete scenario, or that complete question I have just depicted in the form of a pictorial representation. Now it's if you break down it like this, now it's pretty much simple. Now what we have to do is, they have already given the S values, S1 and S2. Now we have to do is, we have to find out that B value, small b, that is the distance which will be traveled by this slow moving vehicle or slow moving truck in this case, in the overtaking time t. So we will also be needing to will we also be requiring to find out the overtaking time t. And then once we know this b value, then simply we can add up S1, S2 and b, and then we'll find out d2. D1 we will be able to find out because we know VB, that's the speed of overtaken vehicle or slow moving vehicle. We know the reaction time T because they have given in the question itself that the hesitation period is 2 seconds. So D1 will be knowing, D2 we can find out, and D3, again we know that they have given the design speed of the vehicle or highway, it's 80 kmph. So our vehicle C, that will be moving with a speed of 80 kmph. So simply by using this formula 0.28 Vt, so after finding out the capital T overtaking time, we'll be able to find out the D3 as well. Now once you find out D1, D2, D3, if you see, they have given this 450 meter, and the representation, if you see, 450 is at the initial stage when the overtaking operation was not even started. So out of that 450, if I subtract simply D1, D2, D3, so I'll be getting this X value. So again, it's a straightforward numerical, but the straightforwardness comes into picture when we draw the or convert that whole bunch of words into this picture format. Okay, so now it's again straightforward. So just for information, whatever blank space you see on the top, in that blank space I have fitted all the calculation. So please bear with me if you find it difficult. I've made sure that you will not find it difficult to read. Okay. So starting with D1, again we have the formula. Oh, sorry, by mistake I have written small v. It's capital V. Okay. So D1 is 0.28 VB, capital VB into T, because I'll be directly putting the value of, substituting the value of speed as kmph. So that is 0.28 into 40 into T. They have given the hesitation period 2 seconds. So D1 comes out to be 22.4. So this is completed. Now the next thing comes is D2, but for finding D2, we need to find two terms, that is S and B, and for finding out B, we require T. Okay. So now for again finding out T, we all know the formula for T, that is 4S upon A. But now here we have a dilemma that this S value, it will be which one? The S1, 30 meter or 25 meter. So what I have taken here is the average one. So 27.5 I have taken. You might also check it with 30 meter or 25 meter. The answer will obviously vary, but I have taken the liberty that as this question was asked way back in 1999, so at that time there was no MCQ for this kind of question. So directly you had to write the answer. So it was applicable, or the answer was considered to be correct if it was in a particular range. So I have taken that liberty of that range, and then I've taken S value as 27.5, which is the average of 30 and 25. And the acceleration they have given, that is 1.2 meter per second square. So knowing S and A, I can find out the T value, that is overtaking time. It's under root 4S upon A. And just substituting the values, I have not shown the substitution here. You can do it yourself. I get the capital T as 9.57 seconds. Okay, so this is the overtaking time. Now, once I get this overtaking time, now I am in a position to find out that small b, that is the distance traveled by our overtaken vehicle in the overtaking time. So it's 0.28 VB into T. Again, just substituting the values. VB is 40 kmph and T is 9.57 seconds. So my B value comes out to be 107.18 meters. Now again, we know the value of B, we know S1, we know S2. Now simply we have to add all the three terms and we get the distance D2 that is needed, or the second component of a overtaking side distance. Okay, it comes out to be 162.18 meters. Okay, so this D2 is also identified. Now remains the third component, that is the component related to the oncoming vehicle. So that is, we can simply find out by the formula D3 is equal to 0.28 Vt. Now in this case, this V is the design speed, whereas this T is the overtaking time. So we know both the values. So 0.28 into 80 into 9.57 by D3 comes out to be 214.37. So now again, this third component is also known. So now what remains is the X that we have to find out, the X distance. So it is 450 minus the addition of D1, D2, D3. So D1, D2, D3 addition is 398.95. Just I have added all these three values, D1, D2 and D3. So this is also my OSD. So here they are not interested in that OSD value, but then I have written here that D1 plus D2 plus D3 is 398.95. And then simply subtracting from 450, I get the value of X. So this is the numerical, or this is the end of the numerical. And as you can see, it's pretty simple. But what I found interesting was in the way in which they presented the numerical, and then you had to think over it and solve it. Okay. Initially, I also made a mistake while solving that. I thought, because I got confused, the line in which they stated that the car A was following truck B and both were traveling at speed 40 kmph. So initially I thought there was the D1 component was not there in picture because both the vehicles are traveling at same speed, a slow moving speed. But then afterwards, when that line came, that after an initial hesitation period of 2 seconds, then it clicked that no, it's not like that. They have just twisted in such a way that instead of your vehicle A traveling from a high speed, then reducing the speed and then following the vehicle, they have simply just said that the vehicle is following from start itself, but the D1 component is there. So you have to read it, understand it, and then present it accordingly. So that's all with today's lecture, and that's all with the OSD concept and the numericals. Okay. So in the next lecture, we'll be starting with the horizontal alignment, mainly the curves and superrelation section. We'll be starting with the curves first and then the superrelation. So that's all for today.